This is my book advice demonstration reel on pitching a book, pitching a story, on pitching a comic book, pitching a movie, pitching your story. Again, this is called Book Pitch. It's really hot. I'm on my way to my third day at the comic book convention, and my pitch game is no joke. It's at its peak, right? Not only that, today is Saturday, and it's a sold-out day at the convention, so I'm on my way there 2 hours early to set up. Actually, I'm late. I should have been there right now, but it's sold out. So what you want to be able to do when people come to your table is your elevator pitch in layers. When you send out your bio or your press release for your film, many times they ask you for the tagline, the short pitch, the short synopsis, and the full description. All those are versions of the same thing, your pitch. How do you tell your people about your product? And many times in these little blogs that I'm making, I slide in a little pitch from one of my books, or I might not even pitch it. I may use an example from one of my books or my movies to illustrate my point. So with this, it is all pitching my stories to you, so that way you can see how you pitch them. And I don't even know if I'll get to all of them because I'm so long-winded. But it's good because I'm going to keep your interest, and I'll show you how to do it. One of the reasons why I also do this is because, when people come to my table or when I go to other people's tables, they can't not everybody. Some people do it real good, some people do it better than me. So don't let me tell you that I'm the best. But I'm good at it. This is one aspect that I'm good at, this particular part of marketing. So it's like when I go to some people's tables, sometimes they'll tell you 50 million things. And I was talking to my table mate about it yesterday, is that, I don't want every black person to come to my table. When they're at a comic convention or a main book fair, I'm not that person to say, hey, I'm black, come over to me. No question. I'm black, I'm not hiding it, but I'm not putting pressure on every black person to come to my table. It gets so bad that some black people will purposely walk on the other side of the aisle to look at other things besides for the black thing, because many times people aren't selling a good product, they're selling a black product. And I just want to speak on that because a lot of it isn't a bad product. It's just you don't know how to pitch it, and you just pitching blackness to them, and they want to hear, it's a story about a man sitting on the moon kicking rocks on earth. That's all they want to hear. They don't want to hear, I'm a black dude, we need a black comic out there. No, they don't want to hear that, because that's not what they buying. They, if not, just ask for donations if you're not selling a product. So go back to selling your product. All right, so here, my first product, one of my hot sellers. Actually, all of my books sell at different events or times in the year. I haven't figured it out yet. I got 7 books. And they all sell differently, all right? So this particular book is called It Happened on Negro Mountain. How I start my pitch, I say, it depends, on what gets their interest. Sometimes I say, I have zombies, I have horror, and I have vampire and werewolf stories and other things. And then they'll say, what about this one? I say, Negro Mountain is, the book is called It Happened on Negro Mountain, and Negro Mountain is a real place in Western Maryland. And I say, Negro Mountain is a story of escaped slaves that settled in this place called Negro Mountain. And one of the escaped slaves, the Africans, died in the process of defending it. So instead of naming it after him, he had changed his name. They just named the mountain Negro Mountain. And that's the legend. And my story picks up in the modern time where a drug dealer goes to hide out in Negro Mountain and gets terrorized by the ghosts. So what makes it really cool is that it's a good ghost story. And most of the time we don't hear good ghost stories. So my story is a good ghost story. I also say Negro Mountain tagline is, Negro Mountain is a place where bad things happen to bad people. So instead of you going up there being a good person and getting terrorized by a ghost, it's a place where if you go up there and you beating on your wife, Negro Mountain will handle you. The same way a ghost can move chairs or have bleeding walls to scare a good person, is the same way they can bring doors down and terrorize a bad person. So that's my pitch on Negro Mountain. Now, I can go further in that, because even with that, that was modified for just me talking. I never pitched to a brick wall, although I'm capable, because some people do come to your booth, your table, and they give you no reaction. But normally, especially with Negro Mountain, I'm getting reactions from the first time I say it. I might even videotape me pitching my books to somebody at my table, because it is fluid, it's interactive, it's not just me talking. And don't get it confused that you have to be prepared. You don't take breaks and you don't wait for people to ask questions. No, you want to give them opportunities. So even in my pitch, I say, Negro Mountain is a real place. They're like, oh, really? Then I say, oh, okay, how did you find it? And I say, well, I was driving. It's in Western Maryland. And, we're so crazy that I got out the car and we took a picture. And it was like 5 years later before I actually Googled it and found out the real history of it. It depends. They may go sideways. They say, really? How did they come up with that name? I say, I tell them the story, and I said, most of the time, places in America that's named Coon Hill or whatever, Spook Creek or whatever, they're named in some derogatory fashion or derogatory reference to black people. Whereas Negro Mountain is named in honor, it's in commemoration. I also say Negro Mountain is like the largest monument to a black person in the world, because it's a real damn mountain. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Kilimanjaro is named after a person. I think Kilimanjaro, Mount Fuji, Rushmore, they're all named mountains, not mountains named after people. So Negro Mountain is named after this particular black person. They even have a plaque up there. So again, you'll see how I have these different layers in what I'm saying. All right, the next one I'm going to pitch. And please type your questions. Check my books out on Amazon. You can buy all of these, because these are definitely pitchable books. So my next one, and it'll probably be my last one, is called Harlem Shake. All right. Now, Harlem Shake is a story about the 125th Street fault line becoming active, and it's a disaster story. So, it's on the lines of 2012, San Andreas with The Rock. It's a disaster story, and I was motivated to write it because we have a lot of ground to cover as black sci-fi writers within sci-fi, but a lot of us concentrate on paranormal, sometimes alternative history. We're writing about slavery, and then we also go back to Africa, which is also alternative history, or just historical revisions. When we do Sword and Soul, we also do that with steampunk. Our version of steampunk, and then also even in cyberpunk, which we really don't have too many cyberpunk stories. So I wanted to write post-apocalyptic world. I wanted to write in the post-apocalypse. So Harlem Shake, I'm slipping up. Harlem Shake is that story where the 125th Street fault line. How did I find that? Well, I live down here in Miami. My main buddy is Haitian, and when the earthquake hit Haiti, all the conspiracy theorists left over from 9/11 jumped in and they started, saying that it was Franklin that caused it. And I actually believe Franklin did cause it, but that's not provable. What is provable is that there was and is a fault line that runs very close to the island of Haiti. And that's what got triggered. Earthquakes happen on fault lines. So that became active is what triggered it. And I was like, dang, what other places have fault lines? And 125th Street is a fault line. It's not 116th, it's not 145th, it's not 133rd, it's 125th Street, the most famous street in Harlem. So that was perfect for me because I wanted to say Black Earthquake without saying Black Earthquake. I wanted to say Black Disaster Story without saying Black. And saying Harlem says Black. Saying Harlem says all those things. So it was a perfect storm. And then I got the story title from The Dance, of course. The Dance is long gone, but that's the one where they just said delete. Oh, the little one that the basketball players, LeBron James, when he was on the Heat, he was dancing to. So those are all of the elements that I got. But the cool thing about Harlem Shake is it is a post-apocalyptic book series. I'm actually halfway through writing the sequel. Now, pause. That is another good thing to tell people because many real readers want series. They don't only want to experience that universe or that world just one time. That's why, like fantasies, when you talk to a publisher, they definitely want at least a trilogy. But if you can keep going, it is better because you lock in your readers. People start to anticipate. It's like, with Harry Potter. Are you going to write another Harry Potter book? They never get enough of it. And I want to be able to do my Harlem Shake so that it becomes a beautiful post-apocalyptic world where it's not only discovery, it's just engaging in this world, very much like Star Wars, where Star Wars employs other writers. I actually would like to create a universe or a world where other writers, they know that this is there in the world, this is there in the world, and they can engage and write a story in that world, a micro world. So a lot of my cities and places that I'm going in this post-apocalyptic world will not be destroyed. Many of the characters will be killed, but the cities or whatever outposts they have will still exist. So anyway, that's my Harlem Shake. It's $10. It's a small mass market paperback size book, and it looks real attractive. And actually yesterday it was my highest seller. So I hope, I bought a bunch more copies today, and I look forward to knocking it out. But anyway, through me pitching these books, I hope it gives you an idea. I didn't really pitch Harlem Shake as well as I wanted to you, but to be very honest, that's all I need to do with Harlem Shake. I don't have a tagline. With my book, Rashida the Zombie Killer, she makes The Walking Dead run. That's a beautiful tagline. You know what I'm saying? I have Boss Lady's Planet. I just, explain that she, most urban writers give Boss Lady a nail salon or a strip club. I gave my Boss Lady a whole planet. And sometimes just that lead in line, now they want to hear more about it. But to be very honest, sci-fi is really selling hot. I don't really even have to pitch my books like I had to prior to Black Panther. All right, so my covers say a lot, and I did a blog about this earlier. My pitch lines come from my story. Many times in my stories, while writing the story, I've already thought of the pitch. So that's that on the pitch. Come up with a short tagline, a short synopsis, a short a tagline. A short synopsis, like 2 or 3 sentences, and then a short description, and then a long full description. And that, is what'll get you. But again, it is fluid, so if people are looking at the cover, be prepared to explain that cover, who the artist was, how you got the cover, explain the title, or any other related events. And, you know, if yours is about an adopted kid that becomes president, you know, be prepared to talk about other adopted kids, or whatever your story is about. You know what I'm saying? A guy that thinks he's a werewolf finds out he's a vampire. If that's the case, then, you know, be prepared to talk about similar stories. Your book pitch should be a window into your book proposal. That when you have to research other books for your book proposal, like I had to do for my nonfiction book, The Hip Hop Dating Guide, you know, I had to read Women Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Men Are From Mars. I had to read Think Like a Man. I had to, you know, all the other related dating books, I had to read them. And I'm actually gearing up to do another version of that. So please check it out. Let's make it happen. And that's it. Thank you very much. Peace.